What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Osiris New Dawn. My name is Splattercat. Stoked to have you here today, as we are probably going to work on mostly crafting today. Like I said, the series is going to be infrequent because I gotta play like 4 or 5 hours to get enough footage to just do stuff for like 20-25 minutes. And as interesting things come up, obviously I'll cut in the video or whatever. But for right now, what I wanted to build today is actually I was interested in building the laboratory. If we can get the laboratory all nice and taken care of, that gets us into some of the more advanced crafting that I think will be useful in the long term, and we'll be able to get ourselves some vehicles. So let's see to that. I don't know that we have all the parts that we need. I'm pretty sure we have most of the parts that we need for circuit boards. So for circuit boards, I think we need gold and we need some other stuff. Let's go ahead and have a look, shall we? I'm going to pick up a couple things right here. We probably need wire, we probably need plastics maybe, and then we probably need gold. I did pick up some more gold. I found a big-ass gold field, actually. The sad part is actually, after wandering around in the previous episode for so long, there's a bunch of gold out that way up against the wall. There's like 10 veins out there, and my inventory was full. I couldn't even carry it with me, and it was way closer. It was only like 700 meters away. But hindsight is always 20/20. Who knows why those butt cheeks are so good at looking? Why are they so good at looking? I don't know. Good looking too. I'm an ass man. I've always been an ass man. I've never argued with that fact. So we need plastics and we need lithium. Plastics might be a little bit more difficult because I don't think I have a lot of plastics laying around. Plastics are pretty hard to craft right now. Plastics are like the major stopgap in just about every crafting project for me when I play this game. Just because you can only carry so much hydrogen with you. Like, if you go out with a full inventory full of hydrogen canisters, you come back with enough to make, like, maybe 7 plastic. Which is, like, not enough to really do anything. It sincerely isn't. And so, yeah, we don't have enough plastic for any of the stuff that we want to do. So, instead, I'm going to be forced today to make a bunch of barrels, which I think will require steel, which I have no idea where my steel will be at. I know I got steel around here somewhere. There we go. So we needed steel and we needed copper, I think, for the barrel crafting. Let's go back over to our foundry. We'll get that mashed out. The foundry does need to be fixed, but that'll take a while. How much HP does it have? Not nearly enough. The HP bar kind of disappears on you sometimes. I could make it public to my colony, but since I am a colony of 1, not an option. Barrel time. Actually, yeah, I called that just right. So with all these barrels, what would my inventory space look like if I had all these barrels on me? I'm at 113% weight right now, which is a bit higher than I want to be, but it's still low enough to where I can jet around. Now, our hydrogen veins are off in this direction. If you don't know where hydrogen is, you can actually find it pretty much all over the place. Not that hard to come by comparison to something like chlorine, for example, which shows up much less frequently. They really got to work on that animation for the Orsec right there. I suppose I could make a bunch of barrels and I could put them on my robot. My robot is not long for this world. My robot gets killed so much in this game. Like, seriously, he gets whooped on. I'm going to make my way out to where I fill up my hydrogen tanks, and then once I arrive there, we'll come back in. We'll do like a little brief talk, and then I suppose we'll come back to base, okay? Coming up on my lovely little hydrogen vein. I'm actually really glad. As far as starts go, I don't know if the game starts you in random spots when you generate the world, but as far as it's concerned, we actually have just about everything within like 700 meters of our base, excluding diamond. And I would think that diamond would be the exception there anyways, because diamond should be hard to come by, right? I'm hoping they make those caves ultra dangerous too in the future. That'd be super rad. Let's see how much hydrogen we can load up here. Oh, look at that. They opened up all my inventory spots. When did that happen? Huh, they must have patched the game or something. Let's go ahead and fill up this hydrogen. I assume that these barrels have some kind of nozzle or something of that kind on them. With 7 right here, it takes 50 per. So we're not going to be able to make a lot of plastic, but we'll be able to make some. And the nice thing is here, I would really, really love it. It's hard for me to farm hydrogen in my free time because there's no place to store it. They've got the things in the game right now that will store the hydrogen, i.e. the gas tanks, but you can't build them yet because they haven't been implemented. Like, they're in the menus and everything else. I would love to take, like, these 7 canisters back and just dump them into a central repository, and then after dumping them in there, was that everything? I didn't leave anything behind, right? Okay, good. I hope nothing attacks me right now because honestly, I don't have like the land speed to get away. We're only about 600 meters away from our base, which in real life does not actually seem that far. In terms of the game, it can be a bit of a hassle getting over here just because your character moves very, very slowly. albeit likely due to the fact that he's wearing a giant spacesuit. I don't think that those things are made for moving around. I don't think they're like your gym jams. I don't think they're set up for maneuverability and like moving around. I had the most dope, when I was a kid, I had Spider-Man pajamas. They were legit, but they weren't legit for the reasons that you would think. They were legit because the foot cuffs on them were really, really tight. They had like elastic in them or whatever. And my favorite thing when I was a little kid, what I would do is before I went to bed, I would take the elastic things and I would put them over my calf. And then I would go to sleep, and in the morning, you know those divots you get from like when you wear things too tightly, or if you have like a rubber band around your wrist or whatever? You know the feeling like when you rub that, it feels really, really good and tingly? You're like, That was my favorite thing about those pajamas when I was a kid. When you woke up in the morning, you would have like the deepest divots like in the back of your calves and your legs. You could sit there and rub them, and it would like itch, and it would feel so good. It would like itch and tingle. You'd be like, this is so awesome. What's trying to kill me right now? That's worrisome. I don't know what's trying to kill me right now. It says I'm in combat, but I don't see anything. I don't know. Take the high ground. We'll get up here. And if I spot anything... The shit? Oh, that's why I couldn't see it. It was that little bastard right there. Okay, well, he doesn't seem to care too much about the fact. I'm gonna smash this dude with a hammer. I'm gonna get him with the Yzma treatment. Perfect. Yzma treatment accomplished. Now, if we really, really, really wanted to make some of the stuff that we have going on, our next plan would be to grab carbon, which I think I have a decent supply of. I don't think I have like a shit ton of lead or anything like that, but I do recall bringing back a lot of carbon with me when I went out to farm. This may supply us with enough plastic to get by. Every 2 canisters gives us an extra. So we'll get like 9 or 10 plastic out of this. It's not perfect, but it's something to work with. There we go. So now... Oh, never mind. I'm bad at math. I thought it took 50, though. And we had 750. What? I thought it took 50. Each one of these carries... No, it takes 75. Never mind. Okay, that's where my math was off. It takes 75 to craft it, and each of the barrels holds 100? Yeah, I think that's the way that it works. Maybe? Yeah, it holds 100, and each takes 75, so every 3 we were getting a bonus. That's where my math was off, so we only got the 2 bonuses. Yeah, a little bit of a downer, but we do have some plastic in... here? So that's 12. We take the gold out, we deposit the steel. Did I need steel for... I really wish you could keep the crafting materials out, like in a little menu somewhere, so you knew what table required what, so I could get it all nice and collated right now. But I promise, by the end of this episode, we'll probably have a laboratory, and it'll be worth it. I don't know what you can build inside the laboratory. I'm hoping a car, because getting around is a pain in the ass. Let's see here. Chemistry table. We got 12 plastic right there. It's not the chemistry table that I need. It's the fabricator. We need lithium on top of that. I'll probably convert all this plastic over to computer chips just to get it done. Let's go pick up some lithium, though. We're carrying around a lot of boo shit with us. It's weird that you have to open the door manually from the outside, but from the inside you don't have to. Like, I think that's probably by PvP design, maybe. Just to create like a stopgap or something. I'm not really sure what controls that. With 20 lithium, we can make these circuit boards. And how many did I need in order to make this structure? I needed 3 circuit boards. That shouldn't be that bad. I think I should be able to manage that without too much hassle. It's a big critter. When you look outside your window after waking up from your nappy poo, I don't think a giant space spider is what most people want to see. So there's our 3 fabricated circuit boards. They're a lie. For wire, we need copper, rubber, and gold. And I think we are going to need more wire, as I recall. So for this construction here... Oh, no, I've got 10 wire. Never mind. We've got the wire for it. We just need diamond, aluminum, and a ton of steel. Like loads and loads and loads of steel. So let's unload all of this stuff. And we'll start working on the acquisition of steel. Although I already worked on that, and unfortunately went through that with a quickness, remaking all of those barrels. Throw that in there, throw that in there. Duct tape can stay with me, multi-tool, whatever. And then I need to see how much iron we have. Iron supply looks okay. Magnesium supply looks okay. Oh, we're carrying too much weight. Let me drop a 50 stack then. And then I also need aluminum. Alright, so with that right there, that should get us a little bit closer. So with the 40 steel, it was 36 that I need in order to make this structure. Yes, and 32. Okay, that's not so bad. And then now that I'm out of that, do I have any aluminum in here anywhere? Was that my only aluminum? It's fine. There's aluminum right nearby that I can go and farm out. It's not something that eludes us. It's just that I don't really want to farm right now. So I was hoping we would have it. We don't have aluminum. Okay. Well, shit. Let's get on that then. Aluminum should be right over here. Let me dump all this stuff for steel manufacturing back inside our base. That's not what I wanted. That was what I wanted. Perfect. Why am I carrying... Oh, because of the canisters. I was going to say, why does my weight feel so ridiculously over the top right now? My weight feels gnarly. It feels really, really gnarly, and about that I shall not lie. Okay, so aluminum was interspersed over here, I think. I don't think it's hiding anywhere. Yeah, it's just that it's in between all the rest of this stuff. And I have farmed a lot of it, so we're going to run out. The point is, though, can I finish the aluminum... Like all the stuff that requires aluminum, can I finish that off before we run out of the things over here? Obviously, in real life, ore veins do not look like this. They're very, very thin. They tend to be kind of smallish, and they're embedded in larger rock beds. You won't see a pure resource sticking out of a wall like this, and if you did, it would be very much eroded and nasty. A little bit closer with the iron veins, but even so, the iron veins would be the exact same color as the earth all around them because they'd be covered in dust, detritus and refuse and everything else, and they would also be eroded much more heavily. Wouldn't look like that right there. Although hills that bear iron would look like these hills right here, so hey, they got the color right at least. I understand they got to make them stand out so that players can see them so that they aren't constantly chiseling at a wall, but actually the mining system that I like best, some games had really, really interesting, cool mining systems where one of the things I very much liked, and it was in World of Warcraft actually, where you would mine generic stone and then the prospector feat would allow you to condense that into base elements. That was actually very much realistic because that's essentially what they do a lot of the time. Is what they'll do is they'll find something where percentage-wise the chemical yield is high enough to where they say, okay, this stone has like 8% aluminum or something. That's just an arbitrary number. I don't know what actual number they look for. But then they just mine the stone out, and then they normally just have like a smelting process where they just destroy the stone under certain criteria so that all that remains is the thing that they want, or they use leaching, or they can strip mine. They can do all kinds of random stuff, although strip mining kind of destructive. You hope they don't do strip mining anymore. I think strip mining is still legal in some places, but most places should move towards banning strip mining. It's just not something that's effective anymore. It's real hard on the environment. It's ugly, like... So we've got aluminum now. That only took us like 2 minutes to bang on out. This shiny new laboratory is going to be worth it. I can tell you, it's going to be worth it. We just got to get all these things in order. So now I need magnesium and like some of that. We're like a little bit overweight. I can't jet anymore, but what I can do is I can craft a metric ton of steel. So that number will go down. And I'm going to try and get as much steel on board as I can because I'm always out of steel. I never have enough of it. And honestly, you don't use iron for anything except for refining into steel. So if you've got extra iron crops sitting around just like not doing anything, you may as well convert it. I've seen no reason not to convert it up until now. Magnesium's kind of hard to come by, but once you figure out where magnesium's at and you memorize like the closest source near your base, even that's not that terrible. So now we will dump all of our aluminum in there so we can get some weight taken care of. We got 47 steel. Very nice. Now, we needed to get our diamond. So I'll get a little stack of diamond. We need our wire. I will cross these stacks. We need our gold. We need our circuit boards and our diamond. And that should be everything we need on hand to build this structure. We're missing lithium, actually. Okay, lithium, come with me. A little bit overweight. I'm going to put some space in between this and the laboratory. I can't wait till they allow you to build, like, retaining walls and stuff like that, too, and, like, turrets to keep the monsters at bay. Things of that nature. Something to occupy yourself with in your free time. Not enough minerals. Oh, I needed aluminum. I missed aluminum entirely in that equation. I didn't think I was going to need it. Now, I'm expecting fully that the materials we require in order to make, like, our car or any of our other random little vehicles is going to be pretty gnarly. I'm not expecting that to come real easy. You can jet at the default speed anyways, regardless of how encumbered you are. It's just your walking speed is turned down. In case people were wondering about the way that works. I am excited to see where this game goes. I'm actually a little bit bummed about the lack of content. It feels like maybe it went into early access a little too early. Like, because I'm the kind of person that likes to get at least like 15 hours out of early access, you know. But when you need money for development, I guess. That's just the way business functions. So there it is. We've got our laboratory, our creation center. Let's have a look and see what the damage is going to be. Fix all laboratory panels in order to... Oh, interface with the... Okay. So what they want me to do now is we got to slap walls onto this bitch. And I don't have any copper, so we're going to have to go back to base and grab that too. Although I am liking the way that this is laid out. That gives it more than enough room. It would make sense that a large garage or work area would be separated from the rest of the base because big vehicles going around, accidents happen. I mean, sometimes people drive their cars through their garage doors. It happens. You spill coffee, you step on the accelerator. Sometimes you're just not paying attention. It is what it is. A weird amount of people in my life have driven cars through the front of their house, in case you were wondering. It's happened to people. I don't know. Like, you sit there and you say, how did this happen? Like, how did you manage this feat of extraordinary just not paying attention? But it happens. And, like, I honestly can't blame them because I spend, like, 90% of my time here at the Nerd Castle not paying attention to what's going on and, like, messing up. So, it is what it is. I don't think I could... Could I put a wall in right there? I don't think I can. I think I got to put in walls over here, though. So, there it is. One wall. A little bit of a gap in between our episodes, though. This is going to be kind of a sporadic series from now on, I think. Just because the prep work that goes into each major product, it takes a while. Oh, it takes 10 steel. For real. It takes that much steel in order to make these walls. Wow, that's expensive. I thought it was going to be like the last place that we built on where... Whew. Okay, so we're going to need some more steel then. I thought it was going to be like the last place we built where... it wasn't going to be that expensive. So I may have to do a little bit of mining here. That's all right. I mean, what else do you have to do today? Probably nothing, right? It's during the school year. Ain't nobody want to do their homework. I never wanted to do my homework. I never do my homework. I'm being a bad influence right now, making all the parents hate me. But forget homework. That shit was busy work anyways. Like, the second that I realize that something is busy work, it just means I'm not going to do it, and I'll just take the F. I'm like, this is busy work. This is a bullshit project, or I'm sorry, this is a bullshit project, and as a teacher, you know it's bullshit. You're only using it to buy time and be lazy yourself. So, I'm just not going to do this project. And yeah, you can give me an F, but really when you give me an F, you're giving yourself an F. Because you're the teacher. You know, you should have prepared a better curriculum. It ain't my fault. Got the aluminum there. Combine those stacks. I am running a little bit low on magnesium. But I don't think that'll be a problem for today. That'll probably be a problem which impacts us in the next episode. For now, let's go grab our iron out of the hills again. You would not believe how much iron I go through. I go through this stuff with a quickness. The conversion rate is fast. Luckily, we've got more iron than you could conceivably utilize given the breadth of the game right now, right outside of our base. There it is. Yeah, I didn't enjoy school much when I was a kid. Like, I enjoyed the social aspects of school. Which I guess makes sense, given that I've always been kind of a social butterfly. Like, I've always liked people and dealt with people well. And if I don't like people, I can still make it work, you know? I can still swallow my aversion for somebody if we've got, like, a project that we've got to work on together. I'm like, oh, well, you know what? We both hate this situation. This sucks for both of us. Oh, well. Ain't no point crying over it. Alright, so 142%. How many stacks did that give me? That's enough to make about 50, 60 more. Should be good enough. Yeah, I didn't enjoy school much. I think it was just because, like, everything was boring in school. Like, the projects were too easy. Like, the schoolwork was too easy. It wasn't challenging. And so I felt like I spent most of my time when I was in school as a kid waiting around for my friends to finish stuff. And because of that, I associated learning with boredom, and just ever since then, I've just not been a fan of learning. It's just like, eh. Like, I guess I'll learn stuff if I have to, like, if it's vital, you know what I mean? Like, if it's one of those things that, like, I have to get this done, and there's no way around it, but in general, I still kind of associate learning stuff with just being bored for long periods of time. That's the damage that you can do, teachers, so be careful. Be careful with your students. A little bit more aluminum to be had right there, and then we should be able to wrap this up. Yeah, perfect. Let me get my... There is an auto run button, by the way. Got our 70 steel out, and that probably put us... Oh, we're only slightly over capacity. That's not terrible. And for the walls, what did we need? We needed copper, I think. So we'll grab a bit of that out of here. And you know, I can't recall if we needed aluminum, so I'm going to keep it with me anyways. Just in case. And look at that. My backpack's all disorganized. Everything's all over the place. Man, I got a feeling this car is going to be expensive. With the way everything else costs in this game, everything in this game is really, really expensive to craft. And so I'm just, like, expecting it. I'm expecting it so hard right now. Like, the car is going to cost, like, an insane amount of materials. It's okay, though. I will farm it because I love all of you. Oh, you can build it at 15% and then actually just have to do it this way. My suggestion would be that they speed up the repair process. And then just make it so that walls are immune to small arms fire. And make it so that only explosives or something like that get through walls. I mean, it'll probably still turn into like DayZ, where everybody's running around with backpacks full of C4 within 5 days of the game coming out. But at least it's some kind of stopgap, you know? And there we go. So now that that's done, I can build the vehicle. So we've got a hover bike. There's a spaceship, there's a Gav, and there's a hover bike. I think that for right now, the hover bike is probably the smartest one to go for because I am the closest to having all of that right now. If we're going to make the Gav, which I think the Gav... Actually, I might have the stuff for the Gav, too. No, I don't. I don't have enough circuit boards. So we'll probably focus on making the hover bike. A 20 aluminum, 5 plutonium. Just, we'll grab the stuff right now. We'll see if we can get this done. Because if I could just get around faster, that's all that I care about. Like, that would make my farming life so much easier. And at this point, I kind of just feel like I'm showing off the features of the game to you, you know? Just kind of like showing you what you can and can't do, although I'm sure you've already seen it on other people's channels. I tend to move kind of slow with this stuff. So we needed steel. I will take the 40 stack. We've got wires. There's only 5 of those. We need circuit boards. Did I use all my circuit boards? I may have used all my circuit boards. Shitty Maka. Okay. Well, in that case... kind of running through my head on how I want to do this. In that case, let me check the other, actually, let me check the other depository real fast and make sure that I didn't leave it in here or anything. I did not. Okay. So that puts us kind of in a new position. What I'll do is in between episodes, I'll farm out the stuff that I need in order to get the hover bike made and hopefully the stuff to get the Gav made as well. We probably only have 3 or 4 episodes left. I'll try to craft everything in the game before we quit. But, as of right now, we're out of time, so I will see you all in the next episode of Osiris New Dawn. Thank you for stopping on in. It's been a lot of fun so far, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I figure we got a couple more things to craft, but shouldn't take too much longer, all right? Bye, everybody.